Dr. Santanu. My background is I'm a physician by background, and I used to teach human nutrition in University of London, and I used to work as a gastroenterologist there for a long time. Today's talk is a story, and story of not a doctor, story of a patient, someone like you. I tell you why it is important to understand. I'm sure you would remember when you go to a doctor in the weight loss or anything, the doctor tell you different things, that you do this thing at 10 o'clock, you have to eat that one piece of apple, and 10:30 you have to do that, you have to do this, that exercise. How practical it is. You are having a review meeting with your manager, you said, I am going to now have a yogurt, and you have to go out and if you don't do, the world will collapse. Yeah? So it doesn't work like that. So I have gone through this, and I wanted to share the experience. Second thing is, says DIY, do it yourself. The story is about how do you do it. I'm not going to tell you what to eat, what to do, but how do you devise a diet plan for yourself based on what you like to eat. The beauty of this, you can eat anything. As long as you understand the principle, you will be able to enjoy whatever. Like I enjoy samosa. I have 1 or 2 samosa every week. It's not a problem, you know. But you have to understand the principle. So that's what. So before that, I want to show you some pictures because that tells a lot. So you can see these are the Facebook picture. So sometimes in other companies you will get models with a Photoshop, but you can go and check my Facebook page. It's taken from actually dates, and you can go and check it out. So 2 things to note, that this part is okay. You might say that I'm probably, a lot of people are commenting that I'm looking smarter, but look at that side. This is what I call is below the tip of the iceberg. What I was harboring is this problem. I had a very high blood pressure which is not getting controlled. With 4 tablets, I've got abnormal lipids, my liver function was out of the range, and I was having inflammation in my feet. My joint used to get swollen and red, and I used to be in bed for 7 days. And I knew as a doctor where I'm heading. Knowing that my mother is a diabetic, I know that I'm going to get a diabetes in 5 or 7 years. And probably another 15 years I'm going to get a heart attack. So how bad when you know everything? But the question is, before I tell you the story of how I transformed, you might want to know how I get there in the first place, right? So that's very important, and we are not very different. So with that, I actually started getting into physical training. So I got invited a trainer, and I said, why don't you help me to do this? My idea was to disengage myself for a couple of hours in the evening. The story I want to tell is not about just weight loss, it's about the mind frame. You can see things either negatively, or you can decide to take a positive change that, look, I can do it. So it is very powerful. It's all about mind and body work. I've already showed you this problem. You see in the Indian urban scenario, a lot of people are fat, and even more than that, people are not really fat, but they have a belly fat. It's a very common thing in an Indian context. I will say, okay, doesn't matter. I'm just changing my trouser. What's the problem? No. The problem is what you have at the bottom. It's called as metabolic syndrome. And if you remember my parameters, this is exactly what I was having. I do have belly here, but the major problem is that. I close with 2 messages. As I said, that you have to understand if there is a problem. One of the most important messages I believe is when the going gets tough, let the tough gets going. So life is not about winning always. Life is sometimes to take a step back. It's like juggling balls. All of us have a tendency to juggle more balls, but at one point we need to feel a step back saying, okay, I'm going to drop one ball, nothing going to. So I call it, don't shake the Superman. What does it mean? Every morning you go, for the men obviously, you go in front of a mirror and shave yourself. You start thinking that you are a Superman. But remember, Superman is a fantasy. It only stays for a few hours. shape the man. Tell yourself you are a man and you will be able to do some mistakes, you'll get it right. But if you're resilient, you'll get there. So that's where I would stop.